Thanks for watching strategies and tips for how to live life more intentionally. And today I'm going to be talking about the power of service and the power of giving. Because it's been proved on multiple accounts that serving and giving to others actually makes us happier. And it not only does this, physically, biologically, by the brain releasing endorphins in our body and giving us a sort of high, kind of like a runner's high, but you could call it a helper's high. But giving giving to others and serving others also provides us with a sense of purpose, which is also a powerful source behind our happiness in life. Because when we have a purpose-driven life, or we feel like we have a purpose in life, then it does wonders to increase our happiness, because we feel like we're needed, we have value, others are benefiting from what we're doing. And that all comes from just serving and giving to others. But have you ever wondered if there's a point where we can give or serve too much? Or, can it actually maybe hinder our happiness? Or maybe hinder is not the right word, but that, our service or giving makes us feel negative feelings, maybe frustrated or drained or taken advantage of? Well, I know I have had this thought, and I've always loved serving and giving, and I've felt those positive feelings that come from that and felt that increased happiness in my life. But there's also been times when I don't feel that, where I have felt, like I don't have anything to give, but I feel like I have to give, and it feels forced, or it feels expected of me, or it feels just that I'm not doing it for the right reasons, even though I know that there are good reasons for doing it. But it just creates that sense, those feelings in me of, I don't have anything to give, or I don't really have a desire to give, or I'm being expected to give. And so then, instead of feeling the happiness that comes from giving, I feel depleted and taken advantage of, or just frustrated with the situation. And so I started wondering, how can I avoid these negative feelings? And in doing a little bit of my own research and asking around and observing and whatnot, I learned a few things. So first, what I learned is when we serve or give to others, our motives for doing so comes from one of two things: either our ego or our compassion. And when we give from our ego, we're usually expecting something in return, or we feel compelled to give or serve. And when we're expecting something in return, it's not necessarily like in a physical return, or a monetary return, but sometimes when we serve or give, we hope that what we'll get in return is more appreciation or more love from someone. Or we may want to feel good about ourselves or feel better about ourselves. We may want to be seen as a strong or capable or wise person, so we want greater respect from others, perhaps. Or sometimes what we want in return is just to ease a nagging feeling of guilt that we've been carrying. So either we feel like we owe it to someone, or feel like it's expected of us. And then sometimes too, we may think that nobody else is capable of doing what we're doing, and so we are the ones that have to do it. Like no one else is capable of doing it. And then sometimes we've been guilt tripped into serving or giving, or we just want to get someone off our back, or we feel like it's required. But when we serve or give with these expectations in mind, we that either we have or that we assume that others have for us, our acts of service don't leave us feeling elated. And this is when we feel drained and or taken advantage of instead of feeling happy. So then what I learned is the key to make sure that we're serving from a place of compassion rather than our ego is to do two things. And there's more, but these were the two that I found to be the most effective for me. So I'll share them with you. First, we need to take care of ourselves. We cannot give to others what we don't have. And, this doesn't mean that we spend all of our time just doing what we want to do and taking care of ourselves and and not thinking about others because, oh, I need to take care of myself first. Of course, that's not what this means. Like we have to make sacrifices in order to take care of ourselves. Perhaps it means waking up earlier so that we can have time to exercise and to get ourselves in the right place mentally, physically, spiritually. Or maybe it means, in the evenings that we don't watch a show because we're going to take time to exercise or, make sure we're in a good place physically, mentally, spiritually. Whatever time of day that you do this, it's necessary to find time when you can take care of yourself. Because I know for myself, if I don't make time for that, if I'm always just giving to others, working and serving and trying to please others, but never taking that time to make sure that my cup is full, then that's when I really start to feel drained and really start to get frustrated and really start to feel like I'm being forced to serve. Like my desire to serve is not coming from a place of compassion at all. And I even that's when I do start to expect wanting something in return because I'm not fulfilling my needs first. And so as I serve others, I find myself thinking, oh, well, they should give something back to me because I need something. I'm depleted. But if I take that time first to take care of myself and to fill my cup first, then I can serve from a complete place of compassion without expectations of anything in return. The second strategy that I've learned has been really helpful is to identify the why behind my service. And this is important because it really helps me to understand, what is my motive? Am I doing this? Am I, giving this thing or giving this service to someone because I hope to get something in return? Am I just spending time with this person because I want to feel more appreciated or because I feel guilty about something? It's good to explore that motive and that why because, and sure, we probably won't always have the most sincere why when we serve and give. And that's not necessarily a bad thing, but it's important to recognize it and to work towards having a more sincere motive to be serving and giving from a place of compassion. And then, also in that identifying why are we serving, if we're serving or giving of something because we feel like we're the only one that's capable of doing it, maybe we need to step back and think, is there a way that I could ask for help, or is there someone that could help me? Because often, there is someone that can help. We're just taking this weight upon ourselves, becoming, in a sense, a martyr, and just trudging along, serving and giving when, maybe we do need to take a step back and say, you know what, I need to ask for help in helping or serving, this person that I'm serving and helping. And I realized, in this with these two steps or strategies that, just because serving and giving is a good thing doesn't mean we don't need to have balance or to establish boundaries, because everything in life has a proper balance. And each of us needs to make sure that we discover what our balance is, because what I may be able to handle in serving and giving others may be different for someone else. We each have our own balance, and that's something we each need to discover for ourselves. And I realized also that it's important to recognize that serving and giving others doesn't always need to be a huge affair. It doesn't need to be a huge thing, and it definitely doesn't always need to be in the form of monetary value. Often it's the simple acts of service that mean the most, and that have the greatest effect on our own personal happiness and the happiness of others. And I love this. Someone once told me, it doesn't matter how much you give, but how much love you put into giving. So my challenge for you tonight is to first think about that quote, how much love are you putting into your service, into what you're giving? Are you coming from a place of compassion or ego? And then second, to think of something small, something simple that you can do for someone in your life tomorrow. So that's my challenge for you tonight. Thanks for watching, and I hope that you are living each day intentionally. We'll see you later.